You know, I really shouldn't switch like this, but I figure, hey, if we're gonna do some gameplay, we might as well switch in between. Is well, the thought anyway. But I'm playing Ironclad, and I'll let Bunny be the silent, and I will continue onward. So, without further ado, as we wait here on Ascension 1, this could be a very quick video if I just mess up, but hey, let's find out. So, off we go. Also, I should have probably mentioned that there are timestamps, but maybe people will know if there are timestamps. Upgrade a card, 2 random relics, more strike defend, nah. And then as for the silent, just the consistent one potion, well not consistent, but just safe 1 potion, 1 card, of which I don't know exactly which I want. I will, however, grab Backflip. We saw some other ones, I forgot what they were. I think we had... I forgot. So let's take a look here and see what we have on our plate today. So, Ascension 1 more elites, and we're just gonna go right up the middle and try to be confident. So, yeah, let's go. But yes, more importantly, the timestamps will probably note any elites while I try to think through what we're doing with our lives at the moment. That being said, so we're just gonna throw out all of our attacks, unless we are the silent, in which we're gonna block one, but then strike the other. And yeah, it's going to take 2 turns to get rid of one of these for sure. I don't want to hit the one with thorns, so we're going to be a little safe. Yeah, not really any reason to attack here. Silent's turn should be filled with strikes due to the big defend cards that appeared all over the place in the previous turn. But I think we can, if we split things out, more than a few people played co-op by now. Me, on the other hand, I'm just sitting here doing what I do. So... yeah, we'll defend this turn. No, we'll just do some damage too. It puts those cards back in our hand, which is why I was like, I thought it drew cards. No, I'm going completely insane. As for what happens here, defend, strike, strike, that's all we can do. We can't really apply any vuln as the silent. That's why I just like to go ahead and just do the action, but just a handful of defense. 4 defends and 1 survivor. My goodness. Well, hey, oops, I hit the wrong button. Make haste. Ow. And away we go. So, yeah, we'll apply Vuln for the Silent, who should just have nothing but strikes. In fact, I barely saw Neutralize. I must have just skipped it on the turn I attacked the first time. Otherwise, who's our boss? Waterfall Giant. So, burst quickly or prepare to block with more sustainable damage. Keeping in mind that we're meeting elites along the way, which I should keep an eye on. Examples include, hey, you can only deal a certain amount of damage per turn. That's the one I can remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so that for that end, I think I'll take Sucker Punch as silent to help in a lot of elites and the boss. Which elite? I think we do. I think there are snake elites. The snake elites in Act 1, which you hit them and they gain block, and they do quite a chunky amount of damage if you're not prepared. So we'll grab at least another way to throw Vuln. Again, I'll do this. I'll do the same in the. I'll do the say. I think we're just gonna do 1 hit here and beyond. I could attack more with the Ironclad, but let's try to save here for a moment. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Anywho, yeah, I think we just take this hit in the face. Although the Silent can block 1 because we have a Neutralize. The reason I'm going all out with the Ironclad is because we can just heal the damage with Burning Blood. As for the Silent, who doesn't have such an artifact, so we're just kind of trying to balance the things. And now, unfortunately, the Silent got 3 defends in her hand and couldn't do much else with their turn. Can we do 32 damage? Let's find out. A Thunderclap and 3 strikes? Yeah, 9 for 36 damage at minimum, right? With this, and away we go. Yeah, so people have played co-op. Again, this is me playing co-op with myself because I have 2 copies of the game and 2 setups I can possibly use. So, Outbreak. So we'll take Slice. Again, if you run into snakes, Memento Mori. No. Or... no, every 3 times, and we don't have poison set up yet. Yeah, we don't have poison set up yet. I should probably take a block instead. I'm going to take a block instead. I've played a few solo runs, and yeah, not taking block quickly enough can result in very bad things happening. So we'll go for 600 extra gold, be confident, and off we go. That being said, there aren't many number effects Ascension-wise yet. I think I've seen Ascension 4, and if that's the only one, if that's the highest we can go, and yeah, if that's the case, then hey, enchant a strike defend with Spiral, gains replay 1. Probably should be a block, since I am planning to not really grab block at the moment. Silent can. I know Silent's very, very good, but I'm just gonna be safe and pick a block for now, because I have a lot of attack cards. And in this rest area, immediately, because we didn't take a lot of damage yet, we'll upgrade something. Probably Niao's Fury, or something that allows, probably Bash, actually. Alternatively, upgrade this Defend, so we can get more block out of it, but we're going to take extra vulnerability to help out the team. I think I've seen 2 or 3 other locations of people playing co-op with 3 or more players. I forgot if... I don't know if... I'm sure HP has to scale in that case, right? It would be weird if it didn't. Apply 2 weak, right? Yeah, 2 weak for Sucker Punch or 2 neutralize for free cost, which I guess, you know what? If I want to go 3 strikes with a neutralize, that would be helpful. And let's see which elite we run into. I'm trying to remember the elites by now. Hey, it's the exact elite I'm talking about. I swear I have not created a custom run with Seed, which is what you can do, which is what I have done, just to kind of practice how I could change certain situations. I highly suggest other players do the same as well, because yeah, I do think that repeating your run with a Seed that you've saved from another one. Oh my goodness, the Silent has 4 defends and 1 survivor, by the way. I just want to make that clear, but probably should have drawn cards. In fact, we will draw cards, because otherwise we're not doing anything with our energy. Don't throw it at the Ironclad, throw it at myself. And let's see, we get a we got a slice and a strike. So what are our other turns looking like? It's a strike and a sucker punch. So you know what? Let's strike this turn. But yeah, use Seeds to kind of, if you have like a bad run, I know, let's just say it out because more than a few people are already talking about it. There are talks of trying to save Scum, but you can literally just do the same things you did with the same Seed. I'm deciding whether or not I actually want to do this. Yeah, I mean, I only have 1 strike. Sure, why not? We have a Sucker Punch as well, and then we have a Replay Defend on Silent, but yeah, this is a really odd elite fight, because we're limited on 44 damage per turn on a 2-player run, but what I'm looking at, as all we can do is strike. Oh, I should have Thunderclapped first. My mistake. Niao's Fury, if you want to I could have Thunderclapped again, but I wanted to get all the damage out. And I was just sitting here not doing much. You'll note that I didn't spend all my energy. Again, there is no reason to. The boss wasn't the elite wasn't attacking, and we were not getting... Silent had no more attack cards. Now, to note, in case you're newer to Slay the Spire 2, yeah, I had to look over. I was looking over at the Silent, what the Silent could do. But, yeah, Slay the Spire 2, you'll note that this elite didn't take the hardened shell damage when it had block. So, hey, keeping that in mind. Do we have 3 attacks? We have nothing but days, because that's the mechanic for today. So let's hope next turn is a lot better. We'll throw out a survivor. Why not? We don't need to, but we'll do so. And I'm wondering if I even have enough damage for everything. Oh my goodness, a single Thunderclap. Well, we should be out here. 27 damage among 3 strikes. Oh goodness, I can't aim with the... one of my hands, my left hand is on a mouse, and the right hand is also on a mouse. Although it should... Well, no, because there's some things you can't do with just the keyboard, I believe. Burst. That would be great for block, and it'll be great later on. So we'll take Burst with the Silent. As for the... There are cards to upgrade, right? If for no other reason than damage. So overall, it is still a gain. And if we get something good to upgrade, what that also turns into is extra rest, if I so choose. Add an injury. Can't play. Fight for greater rewards. Question mark? Are we prepared for this? I've never fought this, actually. So let's find out. Collaborative event. So you must be playing at least 2 players to get into this event? Huh. Alright. That being said, no attacks at all. So that makes me a bit sad. You know what? We're going to armaments this Blood Wall then, just so that we get more block the next time we run into it. As for the Silent, we really don't have anything else. Also, we can't apply Vuln because 3 artifacts to get rid of, but you know what? We'll try it out anyway. That's next turn, right? Oh, just this turn. Well, hey. Let's work on... No, let's work on the one that's attacking us, because by the time we roll back to its turn, it'll have to, do something. So, replay that block, and let's block this 14 damage, and move on our way. So, Thunderclap, so we can at least do that. Thunderclap again, question mark? No, we get nothing. So, just upgrade a strike. I really did that just for the block. And let's continue working on one of the punch constructs. We do need to block still. But, you know what? I should just power card with Silent. Tools of the trade. At the start of turn, draw one card, discard one. Add one Shiv. Poison is triggered additional time. Tools. I was going to say maybe grab a Shiv, but I didn't feel that would be very good. It is an extra 4 damage per turn, but as we're getting punched here and I forgot to block as the Ironclad, yeah. So, defend one and do nothing else. Yeah, defend, strike, strike is all we have is the Silent. I feel like we're missing some. Also, I forgot to bash. That was on me, but we'll do a double defend and we'll just leave it there for the moment. I forgot, though, that I shouldn't have done that. Well, they don't seem to be scaling their strength, but they are hitting us quite hard, which is the primary concern here. So let's see. I'm going to go all out because that's all the Ironclad can do while throwing a block potion. But as for the Silent, Slice, Strike, Sucker Punch to weaken out, and we will Survivor and block as much as possible. Really? No attack cards, huh? You really just want me to just suffer? I mean, we might as well armament. Upgrade this block so we can block more, and then strike the first punch construct. As for the Silent, another burst, so we can take more defend if I so choose. So I'll get rid of a strike. Burst, defend, and then just pour all the damage. Yeah. Probably should have actually Sucker Punched. That would have gotten us out. I just realized. Well, too late now. We are weakened as well, which makes me a little sad, but... We do need to get rid of that other construct. Let's just make sure we can. We can, so we'll Blood Wall. We lose less HP for that. And we have a replay defend into a defend. Hey, block. But yes, as you can see, I haven't been playing very many two-player runs, so I do need to get into the practice of making things work. That being said, I could probably just play I'm not going to say consistent, but basically play as if I was working each one solo anyway. Now, obviously, there are changes because, well, you have collaborative cards or multiplayer cards that you can use on other players, and in fact are probably encouraged to use on other players to make up for the extra HP that that enemies may have. So, what a turn this is, by the way. Well, choose a card to discard, defend, burst, defend, and then I think Sucker Punch to get rid of that weak. And let's continue on. Yeah, thankfully. These enemies don't scale. They do apply weak, obviously, but they don't. That's a far cry from applying vulnerability. But let's make sure. Yeah, let's Thunderclap first. Actually, I'm gonna. Yeah, if it's not scaling, I might as well play it safe and go for attacks. All the Silent can do is just defend, so why not? And we take the damage we take and be happy with it. So yeah, vulnerability strike. This time we thankfully get 4 strikes, but again, we kind of have an energy problem really with our current loadout. Should be fine, but yeah, you just want to be safe. 52 HP. I don't think we can get through that, can we? No, especially not when the Silent draws a bunch of defending cards. Burst Survivor? No. Actually, no, doesn't make any sense. I could backflip, but unless we draw maybe Slice, we should be out in 2 turns, so I'm not going to Thunderclap. So all the Ironclad can do is that. Could we get 34 damage? No, it doesn't look like it. So we will backflip twice, cycle through our cards, but all we can do is slice, and yeah, we'll just Survivor just to block. Ow. And yeah, let's just get out. So, what do we have this time? Blur, Blade Dance. What is next on our plate? Another Elite soon, and we have no HP. This might be bad, actually. Depending on who that Elite is, I can't think of who it could be. Let's take some more damage and see how that turns out. As for the Silent, we'll actually take Blur instead. Try to have her be more utility in terms of blocking. Now, she can't give block to the Ironclad, but at least she can try and stay alive while dealing damage. Again, if one of these characters were to fall, especially early on in an encounter, then it would be you're pretty much just going to lose. I don't know about 3-4 player, but definitely in 2-player, you want both surviving as long as possible. So, Bloodwall, Thunderclap. Probably didn't need to Bloodwall, actually. Nah, we still get more HP overall with that. Unless I did the Neutralize here, which I could do. So, whoopsie doopsie. Into a Defend. What are our potions again? Explosive Ampule and Dexterity Potion. So, in case it's an AoE Elite, we do have the Explosive Ampule. That's nice, but there are other problems on our hand. So, if I bash here... Oh, we just barely don't have enough. No, man. Well, the Ironclad takes the full brunt of this 8 damage. Now I am very scared of the Elite coming up, so let's get out. And Taunt. Probably Taunt, just to get some block with Vulnerability. Echoing Slash. 10 damage to all enemy. Repeat this effect for each enemy killed. So, teaming that up with the Explosive Ampule, maybe. But however, we ran into the Terror Eel instead. So, Chunky deals moderately high damage, but you can stun it at after a certain point. The question is what we can do to avoid a tragedy. So, we will Blur, but then I think we just go all out with the Silent. I forgot that we had cards, or potions, sorry. Mayhem. Volley, Shockwave. Shockwave, just in case we don't get any more. And 2 Dexterity, that would have been nice just to save a bit of HP. Do we burn this now? No, we'll wait for Anger. Or try to wait for Anger. We will block the whole part of this, but the problem is this enemy will scale Strength. I'm pretty sure it does. So, yeah, let's continue on with it. I could not use it now, but I don't know if I'm going to get back to another Anger beforehand. I guess I should hope that happens, because if it doesn't... Actually, let's do it, because if we throw this Flex Potion, Anger, and Niao's Fury, we could have gotten an Anger back, but we didn't. So, whoops. Well, hey, Burst Backflip twice. Why would I do that? Yeah, preferably we would want 0 cost cards when we do Burst at the moment, but Burst will be good for later on. It's just at this current moment, it's not doing as much for us. Echoing Slash, that'll deal the most damage, and away we go. So this turn we can definitely... I'm seeing that we can't stun it, so... Just do all the attacks at the moment, and we should be able to stun. No! I was about to say, we only had 2 attacks as the Silent. Oh, please stun. We barely stunned. I didn't want to see that, but... that's all we can do. The rest of Silence cards are... things. So I guess we'll upgrade this Defend. That turns into 10 to 16 or 16 to 20. This is worth more, especially per energy, but the problem now is that we have to rush this boss down, this Elite down, so we're gonna apply and go. I mean, there's nothing else we can do. As for the Silent, Strike, I guess we'll Blur still. I could backflip and draw a card, but... yeah, so now we have this is the hard scaling, because now we're just sitting with Vulnerability. you know what we're also sitting with? Nothing else in our name. So we're gonna try going all out. I don't think this is gonna work though. But we don't have any other recourse. I'll even throw the explosive ampule. So not dead yet, but we will be soon. So we really, really, really need to make sure that this elite goes down next turn. It's possible. Even just a bunch of strikes will do. Unfortunately, the Silent drew a bunch of defense and only one slice. So it's up to you, Ironclad. Oh my goodness, we did not. And then I just did that to myself. We can still get out, but that's technically a little bug if you saw that. So I just I lost HP as the Ironclad, but it didn't end my turn for me when I was defeated, which normally is what happens. But let's get out. And yeah, so there again, it's the literal end of the battle. One of us is going down, but yeah, early on, if someone goes down, because of how much HP everything has, then yeah, feed into something or spite. Probably grab 0 cost cards at the moment. Dodge and roll, ricochet, sucker punch again. Actually, not gonna pick up anything. 19 cards for the silent, 18. Yeah, into this we go. We need the HP. Now, the other side of this is that if you play well, you don't need to rest, and therefore you upgrade. So you kind of just snowball into having better cards. Even though I think like 80% of the cards are damage increases, but still, I'm just gonna. Yeah. So here it is, the Phantasmal Gardner. This is what I was talking about. We didn't draw any AOE cards. I want to repeat that. We didn't draw any AOE cards, but among the two of us, does the Silent have an AOE? No. Yes, she does. She has Echoing Slash, which yeah, it's just one, but makes me sad to see. The first turn we're not taking as much damage, but I promise you it quickly gets worse. So let's not throw that yet. We'll neutralize one, so it deals no damage as opposed to 2 less damage. So 3 less damage over 2 less. I guess we spread out the attacks so that, because I don't think we can break the armor on anything else. No. So we'll hit them as hard as we can. We can also sucker punch something as the silent, probably the one doing 7. Survivor, defend, and thankfully the silent has blur, so if that block won't go away. But should have armaments the spur. I'm going crazy. I was inefficient there. It might not be fine. Explosive ampule would have been helpful here, but we didn't get it obviously. So sadness happens. We really didn't get anything, huh? I guess we spread out the damage again and do our best. We can only really hit 3, so we'll just try to weaken the ones who are lowest HP, question mark. And as for the Ironclad Blood Wall, for as much block as possible. This will block nearly everything, but yeah, 17 minimum to block everything. Yeah, and they're slowly scaling their strength, so really? The last 2 cards in the Silence deck are Echoing Slash. Man, that makes me so sad. Let's taunt first so we can do as much damage as possible, I guess. Thunderclap Anger? No, let's hit everything and then Thunderclap, I guess. Nah. Yeah, let's try to deal damage. The Silent is using everything anyway. We can focus one and try to take it out. I guess so. I guess let's try that out. That might not be the best decision here, but could have Thunderclap twice. I forgot about that. It was a little inefficient. I mean, it's RNG, but it was still inefficient. And yeah, if we had Thunderclap again, I think we would have taken one out. I mean, it's not attacking us this turn, but still. So, as a dog tries to get my attention, I will be done soon because this looks like it's going down. Nice nothing, by the way. Echoing Slash. So if we stagger things, if I could push something to 20 HP, I think this counts. 10 damage to all enemies. Repeat this effect for each enemy killed. Or is it or does it only count it once? Either way, it's not like the Ironclad gets to do anything else here. So we will focus one. Yeah, it's not much. So the Ironclad doesn't die for this, right? No. So as for the Silent, yeah, not much we can do here either. And in fact, we can't, so we might as well go for a block. I don't know if that matters. And yeah, just barely off. Actually, throw a potion. Should have actually used the dexterity potion as well, but whoops, forgot. Ow. So we can survive this encounter. It's quite a big ask, regardless. Let's let the Silent do her thing. Silent has nothing but blocks and defends, so you know what? So be it. We finally draw a strike, but we drew a strike. That was about it. Goodness gracious. Well, the good news is that if we get something, yeah, because it doesn't exhaust itself. The bad news is we didn't really get anything. So, Blood Wall for the extra draw? No. We'll Spite first here, then Anger. And we'll see. No, because all we got were a bunch of strikes and defends. Alright, cool, I guess. That... Interesting to note. Well... I guess we Blood Wall. That was a really interesting turn. Taunt into a big attack. What is our biggest attack? Not Echoing Slash, but it's all we have. And let's just get out. Demonic Shield. Lose 1 HP, give another player block equal to your block. But we're not really blocking. In fact, we have a lot of attacks, which probably isn't the best for us, but... Take Backstab. Might want to start exhausting things. We're about to run into the boss anyway. So expect a fight, I guess. And I'm just going to rest again. Yeah, we don't have a lot of HP here. Hi! Tank. Tank double damage for enemies. Allies take half damage from enemies. Bomb. Other stuff. What can I get? Well, definitely, I guess we're just going to remove first. I probably should have grabbed a relic, but... Let's see, yeah, Chandelier would be interesting. Cards do more, strikes now deal extra damage. Strikes and defense can be disappeared by just not playing them, which, you know what? So be it. Setup Strike into Anger might be worth something. The Silent can grab something else as well. Enemies drop extra gold. 2 potion slots. Raise max HP and heal all of HP. You know... So this is essentially about 200 gold's worth of an upgrade. If enemy has poison, 3 shivs, footwork, sucker punch, ricochet, prolong. Prolong, well, no, because then we can't use the waffle. So we'll just waffle instead. Waffle to upgrade. I'm sure there's some card that we want to upgrade as the Silent. As for the Ironclad, we're going to rest here. I'm just going to make the call. Probably Burst, right? Yeah, Burst next 2 skills. Otherwise, other things like Sucker Punch, I thought Backstab... Oh no, it was Assassinate. Assassinate is the one that adds vulnerability. So, yeah, I guess off we go. So, as is the normal mechanic, defeat the Waterfall Giant. When you do, it explodes, and you can mitigate it with weakness, debuffs, and your own armor. So, hey. That being said, so we have no vulnerability of Silent at the moment, I'm pretty sure. So we always look to the Ironclad to do so. Unfortunately, though, the Ironclad just drew a bunch of... Oh, it's ethereal. I'm going mad with power. Well, let's use the defense then and let them disappear. We still want to do damage, but maybe I should have just let them become ethereal. Otherwise, we'll blur here. I have a feeling we'll need to block something and then strike. So, yeah, that'll... Not using the strikes will help out with... cycling our deck. Now, as for the Silent, She has a lot of zero cost, so it's not the worst thing in the world to not be able to do stuff. That being said, we do have Vulnerable Potion, and the Ironclad has no potions. The other potion that the Silent has is 2 Dexterity. Yeah, that's all I have to say at the moment. And yeah, actually Burst is not doing anything for us in this encounter, but it's fine for the moment. In fact, we can burst into this Defend, might as well. And as for the Ironclad, yeah, we'll just throw things out, I guess. We could grab something else and turn them ethereal. Yeah. Or we can anger into Meow's Fury Anger. Yeah. Should have actually armaments first in this case, but it's fine, I suppose. For the moment. Keeping in mind that we do, well, someone here needs to survive, because we're not in Ascension 2, so we do still heal full HP. That being said, 1, 2, so we just go double on this. And we actually want to be dealing damage, because all that's happening here... Maybe I should have just struck? No, I don't want to. So we just continue drawing, so we can maybe draw more anger, which is what we did. And the Silent, on the other hand, yeah, doesn't have much. There's a burst, but there's no reason to burst here, so... What do? You heal 30, and then you get Steam Eruption scaling. So, we don't want to use this block. Anything else we want to do with our lives? Blur, strike, double defend. Should have actually used Dexterity if I was going to blur there, but... Armaments, anger, actually. I should have armaments the anger earlier, but it's what it is. We have a vulnerability potion, so we'll just do the thing instead, whatever I just did. I'm trying to focus on both decks at once. Please excuse me for the moment, but... Let me see what we do. 13 HP and a whole lot of wishing. We can taunt. When we don't have any vulnerability, I need to remember to toss the vulnerability potion. What I will do, though, is toss the dexterity potion, just in case. Because I see that we don't have a lot of thingamajiggies, which we don't. So, and we have full HP as the Silent, so I could go kind of gung-ho, but just being safe, right? No reason not to be safe. And now, if and whenever we draw a whole bunch of anger cards, it'll be a lot nicer, because within 4 turns, we should be able to get it down to, like, sub 100 HP, and if not, well, hey. So, Armaments, Blood Wall, and then Anger, I guess. Oh, it did, yeah, everything else was already upgraded. Neutralize to weaken, just to see. So there's a Sucker Punch, draw a card... Echoing Slash. Yeah, we'll let the Silent just go all out because she has near full HP. As for the Ironclad, I mean, just trade blows, I guess. We will heal at the end of this. So as long as we survive the explosion, which isn't scaled with multiplayer, I believe, then yeah. Expect to fight. Extra energy, why not? Use the defense so it doesn't go bye-bye. Just to survive longer in the fight. And then the Silent does anything she wants to do, and off we go. So yeah, pretty stable fight. No scaling except for the Steam Eruption, but that's kind of more your hardened rage. So in case you're just stalling the whole time, I suppose. Which kind of makes sense, right? So if we burst Blur, I think that's the best value we have at the moment. We burst Blur and we keep our block for a lot more turns. Steam Eruption. So at this point, the Ironclad will die, but again, so long as the Silent survives, we should be able to be happy with our lives. Meanwhile, going all out. A Sucker Punch would help the Ironclad survive, but again, just survive. Setup Strike, Taunt, Armament Spite. On the other hand, Sucker Punch, Strike, not in that order, of course, but another Blur, Slice, on with our lives. Yeah, it would be nice to exhaust more cards, but I mean, again, for the Ironclad, the Anger is going to do all the work. And then for everyone else, yeah, we just sit here. Ooh, yeah, we just sit here. I think it should go down, right? Yeah, it should go down. And now it's time for the big block. So, yeah, the Silent definitely has more than enough HP to survive this. 45 Explosion, a thingamajiggy would help, but we didn't get it. A Sucker Punch. But yeah, we didn't get it. So let's see what the Ironclad can do. It just has a lot of anger to express. Anger at his impending explosion. So I was about to say, that was just me reviving quickly. Okay, so rare card time. Time to choose what our decks are going to be. We still have Strike and Defense, but we have a lot. Yeah, we seem to be building up into a big anger deck. Ah, I know, please. Alarms. Storm of Steel, Master Planner. When you play a skill, it gains Sly. Huh. When played. We're not really discarding anything at the moment. When you play a card, gain 1 block. Just 1 block. I'm looking at the silence rares at the moment. At the start of turn, put a random attack from your discard pile into your hand and upgrade it. Aggression and Anger? Does that help me at any length? I feel like it should. We're not really exhausting anything. Colossus, 5 block. Receive 50% less damage from vulnerable enemies. We are doing that. And the scaling, it looks nice. Now, that only applies to Ironclad, I believe. So, a handful of Angers. Is that going to help me at any length? I guess it'll depend, won't it? So, with the Silent, we'll take Master Planner. As for the Ironclad, I feel like block, right? Maybe we take Aggression instead. Because it could be any attack, really, so it's not just Anger. So, yeah, we'll take Aggression and see how it plays out. And we'll take a quick look before we move on. So the map is just in the middle, so we're forced to pick it up. I don't think that's always guaranteed, but hey. And then as we fight these elites, we'll actually prioritize rest locations. There's a bit of a fork in the road, but I think we can just take what we can take. Although we will be a bit adventurous and take another elite. Now this one has less enemies, but we'll deal. Upon pickup, upgrade 6 random cards, which we have Strikes and Defense, so I don't want to do that. 4 potion slots filled with random potions. Transfer Bash into Break, which is, yeah, that looks good. I feel like this break is upgraded from the single-player break. I swear single-player break was like 4 vuln and like 15 damage. Am I going crazy? Might be going crazy. We'll take it, though, because we're applying vulnerability. Means it would have been nice to grab the other rare card earlier, but... As for the Silent, we also have Strikes and Defense, so we don't want to upgrade. Radiant Pearl, start of each combat, add 1 Luminescence. Transform Neutralize into Suppress. So basically, the weakness and vulnerability duo. I would say the old Vanguard from 1, but then we have to include the defect, so... And until we get... when we get the Silent, because I was going to say something, but I think it would be spoilers, and even saying that would be kind of spoilers, so you know what? Hey, fun times ahead. I won't mention anymore. Immediately... No, oh, we don't have vulnerability. Well, upgrade Niao's Fury, use Niao's Fury, upgrade something else, I guess. No, nothing. We're just going to upgrade nothing and let those go ethereal. So yeah, we do backstab here. We'll also suppress immediately. We had a thingy, by the way. Master Planner, might as well. Extra damage on 1, double defend on replay, defend. I looked up at the potions and I wondered, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't use a potion yet. Okay, Thunderclap, immediate vulnerability. So basically with the Silent, I'm looking for a skill that can also deal damage, even if it's poison, I guess, so I'll keep on the lookout in my mind for that. Aside from that, I don't want this defend to go away, and I was just trying to deal damage, so that's why I did that strike. But after a certain point, probably shouldn't. So deal attack damage 12 times to stun it, which, don't know if that's going to happen here. So, break first. I don't want to take too much. I'm going to go half and half here. So we'll defend, strike with the Silent, but we'll also we don't have enough turns. No point taunting unless I want the block. But we're Ironclad. We get to take damage, just a little bit of damage, and then move on. There's aggression, by the way. At the start of turn, put a random attack. Expect the fight is going to actually put me negative, so meh. And we get a Sucker Punch off. Basically just attacking a whole bunch with the Silent here. We'll backflip just in case we get something a 0 cost. We did not. Yeah, we won't let it take away a thing. In fact, I was wondering where Blur went for the Silent, the hopper here took away her blur, so that sounds like a sentence. But anywho, suppress, move on with our lives. It's just an enemy, shouldn't need to work too hard for it, but hey, dominate, gain 1 strength for each vulnerable permanently. You know what? I would like to draw, but let's take some extra strength. We will be playing a vulnerability. Now, as for the thingy-majiggy, we'd have to discard that. When you play a skill, and we see haze here, but otherwise prepared. So, hey, burst prepared, which is a very funny thing to note, but that's like 6. So draw 6 card, discard 6. Add decay, obtain lost wisp. When you play a power, deal 8, just get 50 gold. Lost wisp. This is your hand, take 2 damage. We're not playing a lot of powers. Yeah, an extra 6 damage at least once, even twice. Might be good, but we'll see. We will run to an AoE fight eventually. Amethyst for the anchor, Lucky Faish. Mummified hand. Strikes and defends, gain ethereal again. Oh no, whenever you I'm going crazy. Trade an artifact for an artifact. So, extra gold goes away for anchor, starting with block. Enter rest site into another. No. Play a power arena. Oh, and we're forced to trade one of these actually. So you know what? We'll just take the extra block and into the enemy before an elite. As for the silent, again, I might as well say things out loud. White beast statue, potion always appear for razor tooth. Every time you play an attack or skill, upgrade it from the range of combat. Rainbow ring for strawberry. Well, that's otherwise T-set for Gorget. I need to learn how to say that. I guess razor tooth. We don't always need potions. In fact, we're filled up on potions. So for that, we should actually toss a potion here, especially if we don't get a vuln, which we didn't. So we're going to throw this vulnerability potion here and see what we decide to do. We can suppress, so that'll act as our quote-unquote block. So, and yeah, we have a power that turns everything to Sly, so when we discard everything, if we get like a burst card draw, burst prepared, it will be a very interesting turn, that I'll say. Now's Fury, Spite again, because we have all the block with Ironclad. As for the Silent, what last thing do we want to do? Sucker Punch again, why not? Now we took the full brunt of 9 damage as Silent, but that's fine for the moment. Expect a fight. We didn't draw any... we didn't draw any attack cards? What do you mean? Well, hey. Uppercut. That's all we can do. I'll do the defend just to keep it. 10 block for 1 energy. As for this, when you play a skill against Sly, we didn't play a lot of skills, so... There's the burst, by the way. But we don't have any Sly things, so... Whoops. We have everything else. This turn, next skill is played an extra time. Hey, I get to I get to burst the survivor. I think I threw something. I think there's something I could have done there. I'm going crazy. But anywho, let's see. Yeah, break into dominate. Boy. Now, unfortunately, we take the full brunt of 17 damage if we do that. So let's see if we can grab anything else. Panic button, I guess, if I believe in myself. So, fly vuln here. I'm looking over at the silent really quickly, just making sure. Prepare up that strength, because when we slam it with anger, it'll be a lot better. Otherwise, as for the silent, well, yeah, we'll do the defend. She doesn't need to defend that much, but boy, it would have been great to get a stun. I'm actually going to throw a color potion as well. Volley, nope. Prolong. Ultimate strike is free. Yeah, I get the stun. That means I didn't need to defend, but it's fine. So, aggression, might as well. Armaments, anger, into anger strike. Do we get out this turn? Ultimate strike for superpower, and into the elite we go. I really need to remember my elites. I haven't remembered everything yet. Whenever you play a card, enemy lose 3 HP, Predator, draw 2 cards, 3 shivs. Am I going crazy? Burst Blade Dance? That's an extra 12 on top of anything else that I may get. Otherwise, Triangle. When you play a card, enemy loses 3 HP. I think Blade Dance? We'll see how it turns out, because I could grab other cards later on that help it, if I survive that long. Exhaust all non-attack cards, gain 7 block. It will debloat the deck. How many skills do I actually not need? question mark, not, yeah, quote unquote not need, because maybe I might need it. Demonic Shield, maybe just 2 True Grit. Or maybe just skip everything, really. These are upgraded. Yeah, you know what, just in case we get a lot of, because we could get status cards, I just realized, so if you have like a lot of burns or wounds, I can just toss them all away with that card. And lo and behold, here's the AoE. So, what do we have to use? Choose a card and draw a pile. I'm looking at the silent stuff for the moment. Probably Burst, but we didn't draw Burst yet. So that just makes me sad. Second win. No point at the moment. Break Strike. Do we just focus one and hope for the best? Probably the one that's applying a buff, or the one with the debuff. You know what? Let's go for the debuff one for the moment. Not going to spend my last point of energy, because let's see what we can do. We can suppress something else, but I don't feel like it. I know that you're supposed to defeat all of them at once, but again, we don't have any AoEs, so that's going to present a bit of an issue. So Sucker Punch, Strike. Ugh. Yeah, we do have to attack with the Ironclad, because I have a... Oh no, we can use it. Never mind. So the Silent will be fine here. Yeah, the Silent will be fine here. Ironclad takes 6 damage. And this Decimillipede gets a strength buff. It doesn't revive with all of its health, so we can slowly but surely work things. We have a Thunderclap. Oh, that's right. We do have AoE. Hey, it's 10 damage, but that's about it. Otherwise, burst into Blade Dance at a certain point. But first, let's work one down. I forgot to Thunderclap, my bad. And that's all we can do at the moment. And as for this, we Blade Dance. So we have all of these shivs we're going to focus. I mean, I can spread out the damage. Do I want to do that, though? I'm going to make a call. I'm going to throw one more shiv there at the weakened Decimillipede. But then we're going to, use the other 2 shivs. I forgot to use the potion on Burst, by the way. I forgot. Well, hey. So, can I throw this Droplet of Precognition onto thing? Nope, I did. I didn't mean to throw it immediately. No. Well, at least Backflip is free now. Or not. I'm going crazy. I actually messed up the effect. And also then I used the skill without meaning to. Well, hey. We got weakened, by the way. Oh, the vulnerability drops off. I was like, oh, I can dominate. No, I can't. Whoops. Well, let's break one and get it down, I guess. Increase our own strength as well. We didn't lose HP yet. I know I'm spreading the damage in an odd way, but we kind of need to. All we have literally strikes and defends with this Echoing Slash. That's not what I wanted to see, but... yeah, we just have to eat it in the face at the moment. So, Expect the Fight does nothing. So might as well just defend twice. We can Anger and get rid of one. Can we get rid of the other? I guess we're going to find out. Because we're going to focus one of these down. Yeah, focus one of these down. We see another burst, but it's just not much we can do. Oh, literally 2 defense, burst, and a strike. What a turn. What a turn! Meow's Fury, get me Anger back. Close. Should have thrown all the shivs on that one. No. Well, we can stagger them into defeat, but it's going to be really interesting. So, to that end, let's break the one on the right. Maybe we can do a thing. We didn't draw anything. We drew a Sucker Punch. Let's spread this out. So Sucker Punch the one at the end. Strike the other one. Never mind. I'm going absolutely crazy. I wanted to Anger, but I don't want to take this 18 damage from the Millipede in front, so... yeah. Yeah. I will say, because this I remember for certain, because it always slaps, this encounter always slaps me in the face, so, but yeah, Decimillipede I think has been responsible for a lot of my losses. It's not like a majority of losses, but I do feel it's a lot. So, let's apply a Vuln on this one. Do we get to do a thing? We're so weakened right now, that makes me so sad. Well, prepared. Discard or defend. Let's just go all out here and see what we can do with our lives. I mean, we don't have much else we can do. So, strike, and then all the silent can do is defend. So, the question is, do we have enough here? It looks like we do. Did I make a mistake? Kind of. We need an extra attack. We weakened the one in the middle. We might as well get rid of the one in the end. So we will block all of this. The problem is that we're letting them come back to life. We're slowly but surely getting rid of them, but yeah, this is an interesting turn. Thunderclap, we get rid of one. Now we have only one left. And yeah, that should be all we need. Please don't tell me you're just full of defense. Okay, no. Alright, let's go. Accuracy. Shivs. Are we building into a Shiv deck now? Whenever you draw a card during your turn. AoE. We have Insatiable. There are a couple of AoEs we could run into. Let me take a look here. Two more elites. Are any of them AoE? I think they are, right? I keep calling them like worms or something. I think we have that AoE one left. That's an Act 2 elite, right? Oh my goodness, I've been playing for like I have like minimum 20 hours here. So in Slay the Spire 2. But let's see here. Speedster or accuracy? Accuracy would be single target. I'm looking at the silence, obviously. Silent cards. Speedster for AoE. There are quite a few... Yeah, you know what? We're going to grab Speedster. Her deck is really, really large, but... yeah, we are doing Vuln, but... Let's see. Twin Strike would scale with the strength that I'm trying to build up. Otherwise, Bully would also not... Would be kind of a... stable one for the moment. Am I confident enough to... There are 2 spots if I avoid this upcoming elite. What do I have to upgrade? I feel like there was something. Innate Aggression. What could I draw it into? Yeah, I'm looking at it. I think we are definitely going to rest with the silent. We'll take a quick look here really quickly though. Master Planner becomes 1 cost. Yeah, and we already upgraded Burst, so you know what, we'll rest that one. That energy cost is kind of important, but we'll rest with Silent. So I'm thinking, so if I upgrade Aggression, I start with it, I have 2 energy afterward, right? Because I don't have any other energy for relics. Well, actually, we have 2. So I could just rest here, and then we'll see what happens with the upcoming elite. Also, armaments. Oh, that's right. This is a Slay the One upgrade. All cards in hand become upgraded, so it does a lot more. So I can upgrade everything at the same time. But the problem, on top of the fact that I think we have something that just upgrades cards anyway. No? No, I'm going crazy. If I want to play it safe, I should just heal here. Again, I know upgrading actually does make you a lot stronger, but at the same time, I think not upgrading can also help out. Especially, I mean, I also just like to trade blows with an enemy, Ironclad mine, but early merchant, we can double merchant if I so choose. We miss an elite because of it. Let me take one more look. How much block do we have in this deck? We kind of have, yeah, between Bloodwall and Taunt, the odds of us drawing one of those 2 on their first turn isn't bad. The problem is, right after that, because these defense are ethereal, right? Yeah, strikes and defense are ethereal. We would only have this defend left, and I'd be forced to play it because I don't want to lose something that grants me 10 block per 1 energy. So, we're just going to rest. Yeah, we're going to rest here. And into the thing yeah, so maybe we should double merchant because we're getting 600 gold here from the spoils map. As for the potions, bag of marbles, apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies. I mean, we both benefit from that anyway, but theory crafting wise, when the silent has no vuln in her deck, we'll just give her it. And yeah, let's fight. We rested for this elite. Let's take the relic that comes along with it, theoretically speaking. What happens here? First time it takes damage, whoever attacks it gets energy. That should probably be the silent. Let's see here, though. So, yeah, let me actually stop and think. Speedster, Backstab, Master Planet. Yeah, she looks like she needs the energy. She does. So, we'll let her attack first. Innate, Suppress. What potions do we have? Sure, I'll draw. Yeah, might as well use it. Never know. Might as well use it now than regret it later after taking 40 HP on each character. So, after that, we already applied Vuln, but we have Bully as well. Oop, I almost used Second Wind on accident. So break, Neos Fury, break again, question mark. That will be quite a lot that we can do with that. Armament to Bully. So this is 73 damage. And then I could do a thing, but let's just add more Vuln, because why not? As for the Silent, as I move the microphone as well, and yeah, I'm sitting on a not solid chair, so Speedster, Master Planner, into Backstab, we get to use everything basically in the Silence hand. So, in the Strike is ethereal, so it's going to go away, but that's fine. That allows me to cycle through more. Might make the difference because, yeah, at this point, we should only shuffle our deck 2 or 3 times, and then we should be out, is what I'm trying to say. No, unfortunately, we didn't draw anything else, but it's fine. Aggression, Spite, I don't want to use a Strike. Maybe that extra 6 damage, 9 damage would have mattered, but yeah. Echoing Slash, Defend, Blur. So we're going to Defend, Blur, and then Blade Dance. 1, 2, 3. We have an extra Strike. Might as well do Echoing Slash. Does this boss, does this elite scale? I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? So we can dominate after we throw a Vuln on it. We can also expect a fight. So, apply Vuln first, then dominate, then there's... Maybe I should have done the opposite. I'm going crazy now. Well, too late. Yeah, we have a lot of actual strength. We'll just take take this 15 damage. Maybe that was a bad idea, but Defend. Actually, you know what? Burst, backflip, right? Yeah, because we'll be drawing cards and dealing, as little damage as it looks, but it's still damage. And I didn't need to Survivor there. I'm going crazy because we could have just dealt more damage, but yeah, it's fine. Maybe I should have just defended instead. I just realized my partial mistake. Well, hey, self-forming clay. What does that do again? Whenever you lose HP, gain 3 block next turn. Okay, that's where my block is coming from. Well, hey. Otherwise, hey, it's finally my anger turn, but it's dead because all that vulnerability and the strength increase, boy oh boy. Impervious is an interesting pickup. So is Stomp when we're using with anger, I guess. Theoretically, we could keep it. Because, yeah, we have a lot of one. Basically, the other side of that is, even if you don't have 0 cost, it's 1 cost. So you do 3 1-cost attacks and Stomp. That's something that I just remembered for early game in Slay the Spire 2. Upgraded Anticipate for the Silent, but otherwise skill. Oh no, this is a skill 2. Anticipate. So you know what? We'll grab more block. But this block would be interesting, but we're gonna... that Impervious would be interesting, but no. And we're actually gonna go left. So, I know we have a lot of gold. I know I said I wanted to visit the Merchant twice. Can we still visit the Merchant twice on the left path? We could. Yeah, we could. I guess we'll think about it. We'll think about it based on what we see here. So, Echoing Slash again. Insatiable. I forgot what else it does aside from, hey, you need to get out of the sand pit. But preferably skills. If it has poison, no. Yeah, so now what I was kind of looking for with the Silent is poison. But otherwise, I guess we can just grab relics as well. First, remove a card. Might as well. Probably a Strike. I know these are all ethereal, but it's quicker to get them out of the way for the Ironclad here so that we can draw into what we want to get quicker. Otherwise, whenever you gain gold with the Silent, max HP. Max HP doesn't look like a lot, save for maybe the, Brightest Flame card, but I realized that having more max HP, more healing and whatnot, but based on the way I play. Now, obviously, you could do anything else, but hey. So, we don't need that. I'm looking at silent stuff. So Red Mask, apply 1 week to all enemies at the start of combat. I guess so. If we run into AoE stuff, start each combat with more block. Anchor. Eternal Armor. Power Plating. Otherwise Finesse. 4 block, 1 card. You know what? I think that's all we get. No, we'll pick up an anchor too. We'll actually pick up the red mask on top. Now we only have 347 gold as the silent, but hey. And as for the Ironclad here, gain 50 block, and otherwise if you take damage, unblocked damage, afterward die. Otherwise Lantern, probably just a Lantern. Enemies vulnerable take 75% more damage. I might actually want that. Should have actually bought this first, but it's fine. Frog, P-H-R-O-G, which the frog has actually slapped me before. But Shrug for block, second wind, no. Inflame for extra, just a little bit strength. Breakthrough for AoE damage. And we do have a thing, so you know what? I might think about picking this up. Especially since we have Stomp. Otherwise I could also, but yeah, let's just buy all of these potions out. Let's try to make our thing equal to what the Silent has. We'll also grab extra energy because we'll need it. If not draw, then energy. And if not energy, then draw. And let's go into this rest area. I think we'll double merchant just to play it safe on this run. I think our deck looks good is what the other thing basically what I'm trying to say. So let's upgrade 50 plus HP on both characters. Seems like more than enough. As for what else happens here. So yeah, let's upgrade Master Planner as the Silent. And as for the Ironclad, doesn't get a 0 production, no cost. Otherwise, aggression as well. But we'll pick that up eventually because we plan to use aggression. Yeah, it's nice to burn up to use a power immediately, but yeah, technically an AoE encounter. 2 or more enemies is AoE. I would consider. Otherwise, we did draw aggression immediately. Funny enough. Little flabbergasted at the moment. Hold on. Let's think for a moment. I'm gonna look over at the Ironclad. Burst immediately. Burst into finesse. Yeah, let's do it. Keeping in mind that we rested, so that's why we have 6 energy because of the relic. But what can we do here? That might is gonna throw things on us. My question is, can we burst down the first one? Let's see, 15, 9, 9. So 33, 50 something, 55-ish damage on this Silent. And not a lot on the Ironclad. So you know what? Actually, we're going to switch targets to the one adding a status effect. So we'll just throw everything on the first might. We get 1 block out of this, but it's perfectly fine. And then we can dominate. We might as well to cycle that. We have all the energy in the world, by the way. Oh, first taunt to get a bit more strength. Maybe I should have added armaments to it first, but it's too late now. So yeah, about 100 damage, 98 damage. No potions. Feel confident. Move on. Okay, toxic. And it starts in our hand too. Take 5 damage. Take 10 damage overall. But that's what second wind is for. But first and foremost, let's... we will production. Meow's Fear. Is there anything else? No. Master Planner, but also stuff. Prepared. We get to discard both toxics, funny enough, with the Silent. As for Meow's Fury, what do we get? More production. Might as well. It's free. Do I care about taunt? Yeah, let's do it anyway. No. Oh yeah, because we play Vuln, Bully. I do want to get rid of this. Hold on, let's see here. Yeah, let's use 1 strike. The reason... don't defeat it. The reason is that we have Echoing Slash as the Silent. And then defend. But, as for the Ironclad here, we use second wind to get rid of the toxics. That will... We went from taking 10 damage to blocking and taking nothing. Now we got toxics again, but... we should be a lot better now. Expect to fight. That card is just so good. I feel like that card is just very good. Am I going crazy? Anyway. Defend. Let's... wait, I mean, we can't apply vulnerability anyway. So that... Stomp, defend. Might as well, because we have toxics on us. Also taking 15 damage, so 30 damage overall with toxic. No, I'm going crazy. 25 damage. Speedster, nothing. Let's play it safe and actually block with the Silent this turn. We have Blade Dance as well. So 1, 2, 3, and then we take just a chunk of damage here and there with Toxic and this 15. But we should be able to get out this turn if I do anything. Also, note that I never got Break, which makes me kind of sad. But yeah, Break on top of that Bully is probably the big just put something in. Storm Steel, discard hand, add 1 Shiv to each card. What is Speedster? Oh, Speedster. Not discard, but if we're turning a lot of cards into Sly, because that's the other power card I have, I believe, with the Silent. Yeah, Master Planner. Eventually, Storm of Steel becomes just a Shiv-making machine. Do I want to play with that? Let's play with that. 24 cards in her deck. Fight Me, Armaments, Iron Wave. Just in case we need more block, an upgraded armaments is nice. And you know what? We have another act left. Let's go into the Elite here. Please tell me I'm recording this, by the way. But yeah, Stomp, Anger, Strike. So as much as I don't want to actually defend here, let's just pop some of these potions. The Silent has the Orbic Acid. Infinite Blaze, Blade Dance. Oh, there was something else. I think I just lost it. Well, it's fine. We still want to use it anyway. But Blade Dance is free there. So, expect a fight. We could Production as well. You know what? Let's throw an Attack Potion into the mix. Not a lot of block. So, set up Strike instead. Strength, set up Strike. Into Anger, into Strike. Stomp. And that's a bit of damage. Unfortunately, we don't have anything else. So for the sake of blocking damage, we'll use that defend. As for the Silent, yeah, no synergy, so that's why I'm literally just playing each character separately at the moment. Suppress, Backstab, let's wait on that. Slice, use the 0 cost, like this Backstab again. Now Blade Dance. 1, 2, 3. We're getting dazed, by the way, but I think that's fine for the moment. So let's prepare, throw away the 2 dazed, just so that our next hand becomes a lot nicer. Here's a burst, by the way. Didn't actually want to draw this, funny enough, but we might as well use it so it becomes Sly, question mark? No, we don't have it yet. I'm going crazy. Well, attack. Hit me with your best shot! Ow! No damage, thankfully. Breakthrough, Spite, but first... Break. I want to actually defend instead, but then I want to draw a card. We have a block potion, so... Never mind, I drew cards. I don't remember. I have so many relics, I'm not the best at remembering things. That being said... upgraded armament, that was kind of sad. We take this in the face unless we throw a block potion. And let's see. Master Planner... Backflip... Echoing, Shiv. Not really a lot of block this turn for the Silent. 2 dazed and 2 strikes remaining in her hand. Here's the Bully, but first, other stuff, because yeah, it's just doing a thing. Actually, we'll Bully first, and then Meow's Fury. Don't want to lose HP. I think I can get out this turn. Should have actually used Thunderclap first in that case, but we could have drawn Thunderclap instead, so I didn't want to interfere. Unfortunately, all the Silent got was 2 defends, that card, and the Shiv, so whoops. Can we get out this turn? With Breakthrough, right? I have to Breakthrough, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we lose HP, but it's all to save a turn. Actually, I don't think I should have... I didn't need to do that. Well, hey. Weak enemies take double damage from attacks. From her attacks, I believe. Precise Cut, no. Knife Trap would be interesting, but no, we're not playing with the big Shiv design deck. 3 additional damage for each card discard. Headbutt is a nice little way to cycle cards. So I guess we'll see. And then, yeah, Insatiable is our boss for the day. So let's hope that the Silent survives, because I'm going to look at the Smith. And if there's something nice, I'm going to upgrade it. We can finally upgrade Aggression, unless there's something else I should be upgrading. That's why I do this. Bully, there's the scaling here, so let's see. 20 extra additional damage on 10 Vuln becomes 30 additional damage on 10 Vuln. Plus, multiplied by 50%. So that would be, Let me just do this calculation really quickly. Yeah, 24, 36. Otherwise, 34, 51. That is a jump in damage. Huh. It's not really anything to upgrade with the thing. Actually, no, tracking. Tracking gets upgraded to 1 cost instead of 2 energy. So we'll take that. As for the Ironclad here, we do want to upgrade something. Yeah, because the thing about upgrading armaments is that we need the other card in the hand, that any card that we want to upgrade in our hand when we use it. So probably just aggression, just to be really monkey brain with it and just pick something obvious. And now time to climb out of this hole. So we start with energy, upgrade all cards in hand. Not really any reason to at the moment. So armaments, stomp, and we let these 2 defends go, I believe. Even though I think we'll be taking damage, but again, just survive. Even with the Ascension, I mentioned it earlier, but even with the Ascension where we end up healing less at the start of every act, it's not really the worst thing in the world. In fact, if I just want to go absolutely insane, what I could do is Storm of Steel here. Yeah, because we're not dealing... Yeah, that's right. It's not like it exhausts the card, so we might as well grab these shivs while we're here. And all we have is an upgrade potion. I say all we have, but it could be really good. We get our Frantic Escapes. I wonder if those can be upgraded. Anyway, first things first, let's break production as well. Thunderclap, Breakthrough, Stomp. Or Bully, but first Stomp. And then Bully. 35. Should have actually upgraded. I'm going crazy. Well, hey. As for the Silent, we have Burst available. Yeah, we'll throw on a defend. We'll throw out at a defend this turn, and then we burst that. So we got a bunch of shivs for 5, 6, 7, 42 damage. And we have not drawn Frantic Escape yet, so we do need to eventually use that. But it'll happen later. So I could headbutt here and grab back. If we can defeat this in like 4 or 5 turns before we even need to use Frantic Escape, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Because then we could also just anger for all of the strength that we increase later on. You know what? I'm just gonna throw this for giggles. Okay, you can't upgrade Frantic Escape. Frantic Escape. My goodness, my words. Let's use our things first. Speedster, tracking. We got Blur, but meh. And 2 turns left before we go. I think we still have Frantic Escapes if we need to use them. So you know what? We will use them this turn because we don't have any cards that we're really looking at. Bully is free, by the way. 112 damage. 0 cost. But the Silent, on the other hand, not really a lot of scaling she has in her deck at the moment. Master Planner, finally. 2 cards of this card. Probably both defends. And then Frantic Escape, why not? Frantic Escape. Oh my goodness. I'm a native English speaker, by the way, living in the United States of America. Why do I do this to myself? Although, if you want to be funny, which is kind of true, people who live in the USA, who primarily speak English, also cannot speak English a good number of times. Expect a fight? Hey, look at that energy. Dominate, but first let's find out. Yeah, dominate. Frantic Wind? A second wind? You know what? We got rid of a Frantic Escape, but if we're not out by next turn, I mean, I guess I should have just looked at what was left in the deck. Actually, the Ironclad is about to draw again, so hey. And as for us, so again, on each screen it's different because of the number of Frantic Escapes we used. On the Ironclad screen, the Ironclad is further forward, like 1 whole character space forward. On the Silent screen, she's literally standing in front of the Ironclad's face, so we'll blur twice, and we pull out a strike. Like with 22 strength, there's no way we're not out next turn, right? Otherwise, I guess the Ironclad just gets eaten here. But we did draw an anger, so actually I should have used Expect to Fight first, but it's fine, I think. Should be fine. Yeah, I was about to say. And there we go. Echoing Slash, Serpent Form. Whenever you play a card, deal 4 damage. Malaise. Apply a bunch of weak. Next turn, your skill is played an extra time again. So more burst if I want. Burst into... That's a bit too much, but if I want to be funny. Otherwise, Serpent Form. Extra damage. But not a lot, because it's not like I'm using cards left, right, and center. Let me think for the moment. Otherwise, look at the Ironclad. There's Colossus, finally. Will pretty much always be active with the vulnerable cards I have. Otherwise, not exhausting. Take double damage. No, we don't want to take extra damage. We're already having trouble as it is already. So yeah, we don't have a 0 cost as the Silent, and we don't have energy cards. But it turns out just picking a whole bunch of other cards is pretty cool. So let's glory it up. So what do we have in our face? Possibly 4 elites if I want to go absolutely insane. Otherwise, I mean, we can still choose to swerve if things turn out bad. So with that said, we'll draw downward because we're scrolling downward regardless. And we could go towards these question marks. Depends how confident we are. You know what? Just to make this video quicker for your sake, unless you want to see more enemies, but hey, just let me know if you want to, because otherwise I think I'm just going to take the 2 question marks. For each turn, draw 2 additional cards. You may not draw any cards during our turn. We're not really drawing cards with the Ironclad specifically, right? Yeah, we have Spite, but that's about it. No, actually we have something else. There's something else that makes me draw. I forget it because it was just hidden with all of our thingamajiggies. No? Am I just going crazy? Well, I feel like we had at least 2 draw cards. Headbutt. Something. I'm going crazy. Well, let's look at the others. 2 random curses and 3 wishes. Wishes, put a card into your hand, literally wishing. Start of each combat, add 1 of 5 random cards, add retain to the chosen card. You know what? Actually, that might be better for us. Hold on, let me just check one thing before I do this. Production. You know what? You know, I looked at the silence thing, so I'll look over her things in a moment. But let's see. The production technically can be retained if I so choose. Again, it's 5 random cards. What I'm looking for is dominate. 1 strength for each vulnerable. My face. 1 strength for each vulnerable. Add retain to that, and it doesn't exhaust, unless that's only the upgraded form. So yeah, it doesn't exhaust. If it was not upgraded, it would be exhaust. But yeah, let's do Choices Paradox. So literally making a deal with a devilish ancient. But so let me read out the silence ones. Whispering Earring. So people have mentioned this effect before. Gain 1 energy at the start of each turn, but basically the ancient plays the first turn for you, which, you know what, saves me time. But the funny thing is, how does that work in the thing? I guess it's fine. Otherwise, the other ones are lose 9 max HP, get 3 apparitions, which is pretty cool. Jeweled Mask, at the start of combat, put a random power from your draw pile into your hand. It's free to play. You know what? Funny enough, let's stick with some strategy. If I had more, if I definitely had more multiplayer cards, I would have never chosen the have the ancient play for you, because you do want to time your attacks if you have total control and want to make sure you survive a run. But otherwise, 5 random cards. I see. So I thought it would be cards from the deck. Also Bloodletting, but offering. So we can just demolish this enemy, I believe. But let's find out first. Tracking. Take extra damage now. Master Plan. Just basically popping all of our power cards. But first and foremost, we also see, well, Blur as well. But I also see Burst into Blade Dance. But let's make sure we've applied everything we want to first. Offering. Just see what we draw. Expect to fight Spite Bully. So we unfortunately did not grab, we did not draw Break, but maybe we Spite into it? That would be really lucky, by the way. We also have Stomp, but first and foremost, this turn, for some reason I thought that was like a power card, but anyway, we can hold on to Colossus then. Yeah, we don't need to use it now, we're not taking damage, but gain 600, okay, you know what? Yeah, drawing a bunch of attack cards and then using that, I can see that card being changed. Yeah, I can see that card being changed. Let's see. Are we gonna draw anything else? If so, I want to use Headbutt later. It's not a random card though, so I can hold on it. I don't want to. I don't feel like we'll need to spend any HP. So you know what? Let us do a thing. So that's 3. Oops. Oh, this is scaling. Actually, we want to probably upgrade this. But let's continue on. We can also bully again, by the way. So Headbutt. Put bully on top of our pile, and then just kind of sit here. As for the silent, I see like 7 shivs, so 1, 2, 8, 15 damage per because of the weak on top of the vulnerable stacking. We'll just throw a survivor, why not? That way it becomes sly. That's something I need to think about. I skipped out on using the skill cards as silent at the moment, but she has the power where they turn into sly, which, yeah. It would be great because if they turn sly and we discard them, hey, we get the effect. So, big armaments turn into bully. As for the silent, finesse, draw cards, strikes and defends. We have not gotten rid of all those, by the way. That makes me so sad. Well, is this strike gonna do it? No. Funny enough, all we needed to draw was literally... Well, now we... No, we didn't even draw dominate. If we drew dominate, we would have gotten out of this. Actually, we needed to draw break anyway, but... So, what I would normally do is probably go grab, go to these 2 enemies, but instead, as I take prepared as silent, and you can see it on the top left as well, we're gonna just have some fun and go to question marks. Could be anything. Event. Add decay, enchant a card that exhausts with soul's power. Excuse me. That exhausts, so it loses exhaust. Do we have anything we care about? Technically, Meow's Fury? No, random. Second Wind, just to kind of, no, because then I'd be forced to use it on our turn, and that'd make me sad. So, and the reason why it'd make me sad is because I'd have to be forced to use second. Well, no, that's not true. I'm going crazy. I was thinking of another kind of synergy. Also, same thing for the thingamajiggy. Same thing for silent, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think any of these exhaust. I don't really need to take that. Meow's Fury is interesting to keep, but it's random, and I might not... It could go either way. So we're just gonna take the Forgotten Soul, pretty much safe option, into the next question mark. As for the silent, I'm pretty sure she does have some. Backstab is free and exhausts. Blade Dance exhausts as well. So you know what? Let's take that. At the end of turn, if it is in your hand, take 2 damage. Yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world. So Blade Dance, no more exhaust, and yeah. Give me something. Give me anything. It's the max HP decreasing encounter. So, if we can get an AoE like Whirlwind, that would be interesting. Because now what we can do is Thunderclap Whirlwind, I believe. Do I want it? No, we could just we can immediately Whirlwind for 32 damage. Let me take a quick look elsewhere before I do anything drastic. Tracking. So if I spread out the damage, I could just focus one. Yeah, because we both start with 10 blocks, so we can afford to kind of just sit here and focus for a moment. Blur, strike. Actually, that one just died. So, let's see, because Whirlwind does... I didn't mean to let that rip, but, well, too late now. We're not taking damage this turn anyway, but, as I forget to end the turn with the silent. Fun times ahead. But yeah. Dominate, no, not really any reason to. We don't have any vulnerable, unfortunately, but I think we can get rid of one of these. Can we get rid of both? Now I'm a little scared. Yeah, we can, because I see Echoing Slash. No, we can't. We'll still focus one down, might as well. So, yeah, it's not really going to matter what I do anymore. We'll grab the vulnerable just to do it, but Anger... Oh, that's not enough still? Really? Huh. And we don't even block this hole, so we are losing 4 max HP as the Ironclad. It's not the worst thing in the world, but makes me kind of sad. Unless we prepared into something close. Sucker Punch, Echoing Slash, and then the Yeah, we get to block everything as the Silent. Unfortunately, the Ironclad takes damage. I could pop a potion and find out, but no reason to. So, we finally get our late card, but... We have... Burning Blood exists, but yeah, it's just a little sad. Molten Fist double the vulnerability. And then flanking as the Silent. Don't mind if I do, otherwise could have taken a Blade Dance, but... This is going to be an interesting Act 3. I'd probably have to mess up. At this point, I'm pretty sure I can defeat Act 3 comfortably. We get another Dominate. We get Break on top of it, so we can break Dominate immediately. Otherwise, let's see. Gain 1 strike? No. Unrelenting Break. So Unrelenting Break is another... or Bash, but in this case, Break is an interesting combination. Ritual... yeah. Could immediately grab Dominate. Is that going to be the best for me? Aggression 3, Break... 1 energy left, Dominate. But then I lose Headbutt. So, is any of these free costs? So I think funny enough, I think I'll maybe just take Unrelenting instead. I know they have Artifact, but still. Actually, one of them, they all have Artifact. So hold on. Let me figure out what I want to do. Tracking. So let's use Suppress to get rid of Artifact on someone. Probably the Punch Construct. The Cubics constructs aren't priority targets, are they? Guess we're going to find out. So yeah, once we do that, and we're also going to run Prepared, might as well so I can see more stuff. Defend. Don't need any block this turn. Can backflip, but not any reason to do that either. Should have actually used that first. That would have been extra damage, but whoops. So now, yeah, we grab Unrelenting. So what we're going to do, Aggression, Unrelenting, Break, Headbutt, Grab, Break, Back for our next turn. And if we don't draw Dominate, that's fine. If we do, fun times ahead. But draw an extra card. Echoing Slash, we don't defeat it, but it's pretty much defeated. And away we go. Yeah, 24 block, but boy, oh boy, are you going to have a bad time. So... vulnerable enemies, we take half damage if I care. We have Thunderclap, so if possible, I would like to apply debuffs as the Silent. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though, so... We do anything else instead. So, we can Thunderclap to get rid of the artifacts here, but right after that... Let me see. Yeah, I think we just have the Silent defeat the Punch Construct, if possible. Oh, 1 HP. I did that wrong. Well, because then what I probably should have done was break Headbutt again, just so I can keep more breaks, but... Meh. So, what could we Headbutt back instead? Thunderclap, I guess? Just in case. So... Yeah... let's just get rid of one. Well, we will Headbutt, by the way. Let's grab back something. Probably Unrelenting, maybe? No, Thunderclap. And then nope. Let's just Second Wind instead, because we shouldn't be here longer than need to be. Could have also Retained Hand. Is that going to be worth it? I'm gonna make a call and say not to. So we do take damage, is what I'm trying to say. Your beams are so slow. We did get Dominate. Then we got everything else, and then here's Molten Fist, so yeah, kind of a funny thing we had on our hands. So, we have a lot of cards and not a lot of energy, for better or worse. So, let's take a look at the Silent, in which we do get burst into Blade Dance immediately. So, that will be at least 35 damage. If we Thunderclap, that'll be a lot more, basically. But do I want to Niall's Fury first? Maybe get something back? Into hand. What would I use? It would probably just be, like, Headbutt, right? Yeah, something to that effect. Maybe I should just Blood Wall instead. No, I think we can get rid of an enemy. So let's Thunderclap, Anger, Molten Fist, question mark? Probably should have set up Struck instead. Because, yeah, I want to use Stomp. I guess Niall's Fury. Maybe we get Anger back instead. We do. So, and then Stomp. And then anything else, really. Headbutt. Into Draw Pile. Yeah. We don't need break again. No, because we want to apply vulnerability to make sure we get rid of that next turn. And then as for the silent here, this should just be a whittling down of the construct. So on the other setup, this Slay the Spire is on windowed mode, so I accidentally clicked off of the window. An hour 30 minutes. I know I'm thinking to the best of my ability. Okay, so break. I actually should have done Unrelenting. I'm going absolutely insane. I might pay for that, actually. Figuratively speaking. So, Sucker Punch, flanking. Oh, should have used flanking earlier. Yeah, no, this is a mistake. I wasn't watching. Well, we can weaken, as much as that matters. Burst Blur. I think I've made a huge mistake here. We will still Storm of Steel, but yeah, I made a big mistake here. So, I went to defend, and I'm going crazy with my mouse movements. Hey, it's not often you'll see someone in Slay the Spire 2 accidentally misclicking, but hey, yeah, we're out this turn no matter what. So, break. I didn't need to take damage there. I can still hurt myself on a turn where we're guaranteed out. Why do I do this to myself? Anyway, let's see here. That's Poison Stab. I thought that was Poison on a skill. I would have been, oh, cool, Burst. No, that's not the case. We'll take an Elite. Yeah, let's just take the Elite here then. Inferno. Whenever you lose HP, deal 9 damage, which is interesting scaling. I do have, the few breakthroughs and whatnot, but aside from that, no. It's not worth it, I don't think. So let's see what we have. It is the Soul Nexus. Well. Don't want to exhaust. I like everything I have. If the enemy is vulnerable, hits twice. Retain. Yeah, so basically we keep Dismantle for a turn in which we have Break on. In fact, we might as well do our best here. So, we can immediately... Can we upgrade? What is this? I should have checked. Oh, we can check. I'm going crazy. Kind of. No, not really. What is it? Anger or Dismantle? You know what? This is a Dismantle. Hits twice. 2 damage. You know what? Might as well do Anger instead. And then, 21 HP. We still want to Anger. I don't think there's anything else we can do. Yeah, this is just all the block we can get. It's a lot of block, but hey. And Speedster's free. There's Flanking. We didn't need it, though. It still would have been extra damage, but for 2? No, yeah. We'd have to wait for... I need to pay attention to the Silence hand when I do this. Otherwise, Suppress is free. Flanking, Sucker Punch, Backstab. We pretty much get to use nearly everything, except for Flanking, but... Swift Potion, you know what? Power Potion instead. Probably should have popped this earlier. Poison is triggered extra time. 4 damage, Serpent Form. Whenever another player attacks an enemy, get block. Serpent Form, actually. We'll even use 2 potions here, because why not? Get Backflip, not really useful or anything, so hey. And away we go. We never got Break. That makes me a little sad, but we're about to get debuffed as well. And I would actually like to keep Dominate, but I don't think we're going to get anything. So first and foremost, Meow's Fury. Maybe we get a Thingy-Majiggy back? No, we did not. Well... we'll use Dominate. Yeah, we'll use... actually, we have Expect to Fight. I'm going crazy. Yeah, let's use Dominate and then Headbutt back our... Dominate. Let's hope we get a thing. I could have gotten Expect to Fight. Expect to Fight would have probably been the safer choice here, but first and foremost... Silent Things. Burst Prepared. Yeah, Burst Prepared. Let's see here. Thunderclap, Defend, Armaments. See, Armaments, the Dismantle, because we already have all the block we need, but we just want to pop this Defend so it doesn't go ethereal on us. As for the Silent, get rid of Decay, get rid of a Defend, question mark? No. Get rid of a Strike, just in case. 2 more cards to discard. Defend this time, not Blur. Maybe Blade Dance, funny enough. Yeah, because we're not really prepared to use it at the moment. No, prepared. So we discard a prepared after using prepared. And then Blur, Blade Dance, so we can get some damage out. Could have used our we had our replay defend on the silent, but decided not to use it. We are really not drawing break, are we? Well, we can, yeah, let's Colossus this just to be safe. Dominate Headbutt again. Dominate Headbutt again. Take back, Dominate. I'm really trying to play it to dominate, but can you blame me? It has 300 plus HP left, so could hold this. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna hold this. So Stable Serum, Storm of Steel. We have a lot of weird cards as well here. So, first we Burst Survivor, I believe. Yeah, Burst Survivor, so we can get extra block. And then Storm of Steel our Echoing Slash away, so we can just do some other damage. Actually, the other one would have been better. I just realized, whoops. Hey, we finally got break. A bit late, because we don't have the energy for it. So, here's hoping. We could also break into Molten Fist, but at this point, we are kind of hungry for our strength here, which is not really high at the moment, but we can make things weird. I could also exhaust a bunch of these cards. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. So, Burst. Tracking, Anticipate. Burst, Anticipate. Yeah, you know what? Burst, Anticipate. Tracking, Slice. We drew Serpent Form, but there's not really much it's doing for us, so let's just block with the Silent. Now, the Ironclad, on the other hand, taking a bunch of damage, but let's hope we get to... maybe I'm just going crazy with what we have in our hand at the moment. Let's hope we grab the thing. Did we get... Yeah, we grabbed Flanking, so it's finally time to see what we can do. But first and foremost, let's make sure that we do a thing. So we discard Blade Dance, because now it's Sly. Discard Blur, because that's also Sly now, too, which is funny. I can also Storm of Steel all of these shivs, funny enough. But I don't want to bloat my deck too much with those shivs, because we need to use other things. So, these should be the big damage turns. If it's not, sadness happens. But I guess we'll find out. We get a Suppress here as well. And then Storm of Steel into shivs. All we had left was Defense. And I think we're done here. Yeah. Dismantle, Pain. Just making sure. Another Anticipate, Speedster, Finisher. Finisher with shivs. Otherwise, I'd upgrade. You know what? We're gonna grab Finisher. We could RNG it early on, and now it's painful. But otherwise, Relenting as well. We do have a bit of an energy problem. Infernal Blade is pure RNG. It does allow us to do an initial attack, but I'm gonna take Unrelenting for the free cost. Upgrade 2 random attacks. Start a boss fight. Upgrade 3 random cards in boss fail. I mean, I do have a lot of attacks as the Ironclad, so we'll upgrade that. And maybe we get to do some cool stuff with more strength. But until that happens, because this enemy has 7 artifact. This elite has 7 artifact. Pyre. I forgot if it's free. Well, we're gonna find out. Otherwise, add a copy of the 3rd attack we play. Which could be, anyway, yeah, Bully also exists, that's right. Otherwise, Bloodletting as well, because we have an energy problem. Yes, we do have start a fight, but expect a fight. Still, though. Let's try out Juggling, because we're sitting on strikes. Well, actually, we're going to let these strikes become ethereal, but we already also drew Flanking, but we're not dealing a lot of damage this turn. We don't have a single block this turn, in fact. So, yeah, I guess we burn these, but that means we don't get Bully for 5 long turns, which is a bit unfortunate, but Yeah, we can't apply vulnerable because of these artifacts at the moment, so that's the other part of that equation. I guess I might as well redraw armor Thunderclap, right? So I can try. Do you have anything that applies more as more in one attack? I don't think so, right? No. So we actually, yeah, because we're playing vulnerable, this 7 artifact elite does mess with us a bit. We're gonna liquid memories back Thunderclap. And again, because we got a copy of it. Now it only has 4 artifact, but we're losing HP, so let's see here. Might as well suppress. Doesn't get us anything, but again, it chips away at its artifact. Blade Dance, defend, backstab. Let's use our replay, defend, Blade Dance here. 1, 2, 3, survivor, defend. Could have actually defended more, but we already block everything. Now, the Ironclad, on the other hand, does not, so we do have a bit of a problem on our hands. I said we had an energy problem, we also have production here, but still, I think we do still have a problem. So Spite, draw a card, set up strike, because we're probably going to be attacking a lot this turn. Prepared, finesse, nope, not that. Get rid of decay. Prepared, plus. Strike, defend, I guess. Speedster, finesse, blur. So we keep our block. As for the Ironclad, now we get the block with vulnerable. A bit late now, but so we can nearly do everything we want to do. Thunderclap, taunt. Probably should headbutt taunt back, considering. Or production. Yeah, production. I mean, there is bully as well, because we haven't drawn break yet, so funny enough. Good that we didn't draw break early on, so we can apply it later. But maybe I should use this ash water. Actually, we use the ash water now to get rid of these burns. If there's anything else, we probably should use it there. You know what? Let's be a 5 energy. Headbutt, anger, stomp is 1. Yeah, I think we can use nearly everything. Yeah, let's just exhaust these burns. As for the silent, bit of a problem here. Because all she has are the burns, but thankfully we're not dealing with anything else. So slice. Backflip. Burst. We drew finisher a bit early, but could swift potion, but no. So yeah, rip. Well, we're gonna burst defend so that we don't take this burn damage. As for the Ironclad, what could I get here? There's something I can do. We unfortunately can't upgrade our anger, but that's fine. Yeah, we'll do everything. So headbutt, stomp. What do we grab back? Molten Fist in case we draw it? Yeah, because bully isn't going to do the most damage at the moment, so we'll just do that. Into another stomp. We got a 3rd copy of stomp, which is free, but yeah, we have other problems on our hand. So here's hoping. Silent burning up there. It's fine for now. Ironclad at low HP, that's also not great, but here's hoping. Okay, so we need to be able to at least apply something here. So here's the Sucker Punch. We don't get anything else, though. Probably should have... No, we can't. We can't do that. So... Burst, Anticipate. Do we allow the Ironclad to draw cards, or do we draw cards as the Silent... Hold on. What do we have left in the Silence deck? Just Storm of Steel. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna Swift Potion the Ironclad here. Second Wind would be an important thing to use, wouldn't it? Expect the fight first. Let's find out. We can Unrelenting Break. Yeah, Unrelenting, Break, Molten Fist. And I think everything else, as we get another Molten Fist, we Second Wind and hope we can block this. I think we should be able to block this, right? Yeah, we barely can. And now we have the Dominate setup, but it took a while to get that set up, so... In the meanwhile, unfortunately, Silent just has to take 40 HP's worth of damage. Ooh, maybe I made a mistake here. There's a lot I could do in this encounter. There's definitely a lot I could do. I probably made at least a few mistakes in the whole span of this encounter. But at least we can do what we can. So, Meow's Fury into another Dominate. Wow, alright, cool story. But, 243 damage. Was it worth it, me? I just realized we could have drawn flanking. Okay, we didn't. Now I don't have to regret. Oh, we had prepared. Let's see. No, okay, no, we didn't. So, burst. Anticipate again, I guess. We didn't. It's not like we drew anything else, so... Because we're not taking damage this turn. We have such low HP, I'm so sad. Now, basically, our next card draw, especially if it has a lot of anger, will be great. Otherwise, this extra bully will be more than enough. All that thinking, yeah, it did take a while to get everything set up, so that makes me a little sad. Hey, Deadly Poison, finally. But that 7 artifact elite also just hurting us as well. Yeah, not really anything. There's the upgraded Taunt, but I feel like our deck is a bit large now, because we're not getting what we need when we need it. Yeah. In fact, what's happening to us now? We're getting a curse of some sort. I don't remember what this Fabricator does. Fabricator, right? Fabricator? Fabricator. Expect to fight. Break armaments, Molten Fist. Cruelty instead. Actually, break Molten Fist immediately. Because maybe we get the thingy. Aggression would have been nice. But no. We also had flanking, by the way, so I just realized I did the same thing I did last turn. Help. Master Planner. Suppress to add more. Everything else, literally. I wish Finisher didn't go away when I used Storm of Steel, but... Blade Dance first. 1, 2, 3. Could Storm of Steel? Yeah, actually Finisher is probably the better one here. Yeah, it is. Finisher. We don't need to burst Storm of Steel because that does nothing for me. Unless it does, but let's hope we get out next turn. Yeah, because otherwise we're going to get swarmed by these people. So, Colossus. Do we have anything we can do here? Oh boy. Tracking, prepared, otherwise all we have is strike and defend afterward. Oh boy. I think we're just going to try to get out here. Prepared. Oh, we got nothing. We got nothing! We'll try our best to survive. Well. Colossus. I think the Ironclad can survive. The problem is... having this low HP is unhelpful anyway. So, if we can survive this turn, then theoretically speaking, I'll grab that. That doesn't add a shield to the boss, right? I hope it doesn't. Otherwise, so long as both characters survive, we should be okay. Yeah, it's 80 HP to chew through, but we should be fine. This is really weird. Really? Let's find out what we can do. Yeah, that flanking probably would have been very, very helpful. I always forget. All we got were strikes and defends, by the way. Yeah, there's a survivor here, but... Really? We don't get out this turn? No way, I don't have another attack in this turn on this turn? That's crazy. Well, Explosive Ampule then. Fine, so be it. And with this, funny enough, Havoc might be better for me in the long run, but we'll see. We'll grab Reflexes Silent. Maybe we can get to draw more. I really want to take Havoc though. No. We need this rest area, by the way. We have to swerve. We're gonna die if we try to move on to that elite. Knowing which elites are after would have been great, but I don't remember, so into this enemy we go. Could fight another elite, but hey. And with this, what does this enemy do? Powers have galvanized, so no powers, that's perfectly fine with me. Stoke. Retain, exhaust your hand, draw a card for each card exhausted. However, we have cards that I kind of care about, so I guess Pommel Strike to draw a card instead. Question mark, yeah. Because we have 6 energy after the rest area. But first, let's see if there's anything else I want to do. Not really. Maybe we draw a break? No, we did not. Set up strike instead then. Molten Fist. Dominate. Yeah, I could use Relenting, but I think it's next attack across turns, which is nice. I wasn't paying attention to my block, but we need block just 9, so hey. But, otherwise... Backstab, Suppressor... This is a little iffy. We can Reflex. It costs 3, but hey. Didn't get anything else. Really didn't get anything else. Well, hey. Let's cash out now. I drew Deadly Poison as silent here, but... I think I'm gonna make the call and say we're out in 2 turns, so... I was about to say, did we get weakened? No. We did get break, so that's our free cost. Headbutt. Unrelenting, just in case we get something else again. I think we have at least more 2-cost attacks. Do we? No. No, literally, break is the only other 2-cost attack card we have. It's really funny. All we have are defense here, so, well, we take this damage in the face, I guess, unless the silent can get us out, which doesn't seem possible. So, anticipate, prepared, all free. There's another prepared. You know what? We'll forego the strikes here to try for other stuff, except we drew a finesse, which I don't want to draw anymore, so let's just end this turn with what we've got and be happy. Ironclad takes damage, but we'll heal that, as long as nothing else weird happens, which looks like it's kind of happening. Oof. I mean, using Unrelenting pretty much just gets us our cost back, so... as much as it matters, taunt, and we'll even throw out the strike, because, yeah, the silent, unless we just drew nothing, which we kind of did, that's really, really unfortunate. We'll survive the turn, but it was really, really unfortunate. So, whoops. Might as well defend. Off we go. You get 2 strength, but it's not going to matter, because we should be out no matter what. Hey, that was a regular enemy, by the way. Hand trick. Gain 10 block, add slide to a skill in hand. Dagger spray, poison stab. No. What do we get? Primal Force Rocks. That's mainly to turn strikes into rocks, so there's not really any reason to. Probably just take another headbutt. No, let's keep our deck small. So, let's just get to the boss. Test subject, by the way. So skills are going to get super slammed, but let's, you know what, let's speed this up. Draw 2 free cards, raise max HP. No. Lose HP, get upgrade 3 random cards. Well, I don't like drawing fewer cards, but... Ugh. I guess we rest at this last one. Shouldn't need the extra upgrade, so here's hoping. And test subject it is. Again, keeping mindful of skills, because that's increasing its strength. Although we're probably going to have it in a weak lock, still... Juggernaut. Whenever you gain block, deal 5. No. Exhaust a card. No. Literally trying to get anything that's not a skill, which means juggling. So, powers should be okay to use. It's the skills that are going to be a no-go. So, suppress is innate. So again, the weaken at least stays for a long time. But everything else that happens is something to think about. So, I think we just take this damage in the face. Yeah, we can take this damage in the face. The next question is whether or not we get to apply more vulnerability, which doesn't seem to be the case. So juggling, aggression, setup, strike. We'll let the strike actually fade away. Because as much as I want to use Colossus, that's kind of going to be greedy for the Ironclad, who has more HP than the Silent at this point. Again, this is Act 3, so once we finish this fight, we gotta defeat this, I think, 3 times? Then we will be okay. Meow's Fury. What are we getting back? Nothing at the moment. The skill would be interesting to use, but no. That's a little scary. This is a little scary to look at. Well, we'll do what I can. Breakthrough. Meow's Fury, just for damage, really. Yeah, just for damage. I could toss a shield, a block potion on, but not really any reason to, is there? If he can knock this down, that would be nice. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. So block potion goes on the silent instead. And we throw out a finisher, and next turn it should be down. Again, this is all to keep its strength low, because it will... The scaling quickly goes crazy if you just let it do what it does. Unfortunately, we also got Molten Fist, but... Again, pays for itself. I should have actually attacked with the silent first. Too late now, though. Strike. Does it get rid of the thing? It does. So now I'm free to use things. Oh my goodness, I drew break right there. Well... not much I can do at the moment. We can burst backflip to draw more cards for the moment, just to kind of get us back into the beginning of our deck, which I think would be helpful. Reflex, draw 2 cards. Anticipate, draw, discard 2 more cards. Probably going to be these 2. Don't have any energy cards. I just realized the kind of mistake we're running into here. Basically want to toss any cards that I would like to draw next turn. Finesse. Draw a card. Drew Decay. Well, hey. Otherwise, can't use any of these skills. Yeah. Armament, but not really anything. Come back! We'll fight again. Discard. Oof. Expect to fight first. Headbutt. Meowsphere, maybe we get something back. We did not. We did not. Would have liked the Vuln. Can we draw a card? No, we cannot. Help! Well, would have liked to burst this poison. That did not happen. So we don't have any block, I just realized. We're taking all of this damage in the face. Well, this is really, really unfortunate. We need break now. Otherwise, yeah, there's not much we can grab here. Should have actually copied our anger card, but it's not like we could do anything anyway. So that's an okay amount of damage. It's not the damage I would have wanted, though. Yeah, it's not much. Actually, I should have just thrown that poison, but... Ow. So here's the break. The question is, we probably don't even survive. So here's hoping. We get to Sucker Punch for what it's worth to weaken it. But do we get anything else from it? 1, 2, 3. That's all the silent can do, and it's not enough. Oh. No. Well, we do what we can. Spite. Bully. Stomp again. I should have actually bullied twice, but it wouldn't have gotten us out, so... Silent goes down here, I'm pretty sure. Ugh. Ellipses on the ground. But here's the break. It's not enough. Is it enough? It's not enough. I made a lot of mistakes this run, that's all I'm trying to say. So, let's do what we can here. Spite. I think this is the hardest hitting on top of Headbutt right after. But it's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough. Yeah. We needed to get the thingy-majiggy, which we didn't. We drew Headbutt again, but we didn't have the energy for it, so... Help! No! So close. But anywho, I'll continue climbing on my own, but otherwise, as we get our next epochs and whatnot, yeah, just a lot to do. On the other side, there are other epochs that, yeah, you know, unlocking certain relics and cards would also be nice as well with the bunny account. But here, we're just getting what we can. Such a humiliating defeat. The places of worship and sacrifices desecrated over and over by ruinous invaders. Has Mazalet forsaken us? Food within the spire has become scarce as the bug population surges. The flock escape to the lower rungs of the sphere and scrape on, buy on, seaweed and sewer critters. Hey, look at the new event. But otherwise, yeah, there are still things to unlock. It's still like in the first week. So as I show you this in a moment, and then the end screen pops up, not the card library. I'm going crazy, but yeah, doing our best. And yeah, you can hover over these and get more information on what happens. Otherwise, yeah, not really much else to say. I'm sure there's a lot I could improve on. There is definitely a lot I can improve on top of just not making mistakes. There's a lot of flanking uses that I should have done before Ironclad moved. But otherwise, not really much else. I guess bloating the deck was really, really, really not good. It really wasn't good, because I couldn't get the cards I wanted to. I did need some of them, but not all of them. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because I'm looking through. There are a few that I could have just left behind. So Taunt didn't really use that because the block and vulnerability worth is completely replaced by Break. Because if you just defeat an enemy faster, you don't need to block as much as it turns out. Second Wind as well, wasn't really using it because there are a lot of skill cards that I wanted to end up using, like Dominate. So yeah, not really much else. Especially, yeah, there was a relic at some point which turned all my strikes and defense ethereal. So anything I used to get rid of strikes and defense quicker, even if it's draw cards, was not helpful anymore. But yeah, not with that. Nothing much else to say. If there is anything to say, you know what to do. If you want to support me, you know what to do. Otherwise, we'll leave this 2-hour recording as it is, and I will just throw it up and see what happens. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye!